Oh look, it's a part 2. I did this once before early on in this channel where I talked about my oddly specific Spotify playlists, but what can I say? There's more and it was fun, so we're doing it again. In case you haven't watched the first one, I'm going to give you the name of the playlist. I'm going to put a picture of the playlist artwork that I've chosen up here on the screen for you, and I'm going to give you just a little overview of what's on that playlist. So let's get into it. Okay, the first playlist we're going to talk about today is Trashy Education 101, because if there's anything I feel qualified in teaching a class on, it's trashy music. This is yet another playlist I made for someone else. This one was made for a friend of mine who only listens to like indie and underground music, and he said to me, like, when we go out, when we're at someone's house and they're playing music, I don't really know any of the songs. He told me he feels a little left out when he can't sing along to all the songs that we're scream singing, that we're dancing around to, that we're having so much fun. He said he felt like he needed a trashy music education. So was born Trashy Education 101. There should definitely be follow-up playlists to this. There should be a 102, a 200 level class, a 400 level class, but this is very much just the basics. I personally think of it less as trashy music and more as very top 40s hits, which for someone I guess who only listens to indie and underground music would think is trashy, but I'm a top 40s girl. I love it. I was very qualified to make this playlist. This also isn't just recent top 40s hits. This spans some decades. This is a 101 course. We gotta go into the history, okay? This is also a very tailored playlist. Some of these are specifically songs that we have played and he did not know. So, for example, Fergalicious. Who doesn't know Fergalicious? This is why this is a 101 course, guys. There's definitely some Fergie on here, some Britney Spears. We've got some Whitney Houston taking it back a little bit, some early Beyonce. We have Party in the USA, which everyone should know. We've got some very early Rihanna on here. We've got some Pussycat Dolls on here. We've got Crush by David Archuleta. That's a specifically tailored song that hurt my feelings. On the contemporary side, we have some Ariana Grande, some Charli XCX. We have some Cardi B, some City Girls, some Lizzo. Basically, it's all the songs you would expect someone in my generation to know and love. This is really a millennial education, okay? Moving right along, I have 2 driving playlists that we're gonna talk about on today's episode of my oddly specific Spotify playlist. So I'm gonna do those back to back so you can kind of compare and contrast because they're very different vibes. First up, we have Windows Down, Volume Up. This is very much a warm weather driving playlist. It's the windows are down, your hair is whipping around, it's still warm out, it's light after 8 p.m. and you are just happy to be alive. That's the vibe of this playlist. Because of that, this playlist is fully stocked with songs that just make me happy. We've got stuff like Out of My League, Fits and Tantrums, Island in the Sun, Weezer, Shotgun, George Ezra, Brand New, Ben Rector, She Looks So Perfect, 5 Seconds of Summer, Closer, The Chainsmokers, Crazy Beautiful Andy Grammer, some Plain White Tees, some Boys Like Girls. This playlist is 3 hours and 8 minutes of just pure happiness. Now on the flip side of that, my other driving playlist, Driving Up the Coast, is much more somber. Now the coast I mean when I say driving up the coast is definitely East Coast, it's northern, it's very much a New England coastal vibe. I do have a playlist for driving up the Pacific Northwest coast, but that's basically just an all Lumineers playlist. This playlist is based around a very much F. Scott Fitzgerald, Gilded Age, old money kind of aesthetic, and it was actually based around Young and Beautiful by Lana Del Rey from the 2013 Great Gatsby soundtrack. This playlist has a ton of songs from that soundtrack on here and a ton of Lana Del Rey. It's got some national parks, some Billie Holiday, some Forrest Black, some Vance Joy, some Billy Joel. It kind of feels like what you would be listening to if you were headed home alone from a party at Gatsby's. This next playlist is either going to be too niche for anyone to understand, or I'm going to find out that I've never had a unique experience in my life. This next playlist is called High School Spanish Class. Did anyone else's middle school and high school Spanish teachers think the best way to teach them the language was to teach them songs? Because mine sure did. From late middle school through the time I graduated high school, I pretty much learned a new Spanish song every week. They'd give us a lyric sheet, we'd listen to the song at the beginning of class, and then at the end of the week they'd give us a quiz where they'd give us a lyric sheet again, and there'd be words missing and we'd have to fill them in. I don't know if it actually helped me learn Spanish, but I certainly know a lot of songs in Spanish now and have a deep appreciation for Spanish music, so I'm not gonna call that a total loss. There's a lot of Shakira and Enrique Iglesias on this list, I think because they were trying to choose artists who also had songs in English so we could relate to them better. But fun fact, I don't know the song Hero by Enrique Iglesias in English. I only know the Spanish version. I never bothered to learn the English version because we learned the Spanish version. So it'll come on the radio sometimes and I will automatically start singing the Spanish words before realizing I don't know the lyrics in English. This playlist also has several Disney songs that I know how to sing in Spanish, like Under the Sea, Bajo el Mar, A Whole New World, Un Mundo Ideal, and Let's Go Fly a Kite, Vamos a Volar, which being able to sing some Disney songs in Spanish is a fun party trick. The only other group of songs that are on this playlist is most of the soundtrack for Dirty Dancing Havana Nights. Because if you take a Spanish class and there needs to be a substitute teacher, a lot of them are not equipped to teach a Spanish class, so we would watch Dirty Dancing Havana Nights in Spanish. I took Spanish for 5 years, from 8th grade through the time I graduated high school. I had a lot of substitute teachers and I watched this movie a lot of times. It kind of became a comfort movie for me, and that soundtrack holds up. Following along with the same theme of movie soundtracks, I have a playlist that's called Disney Channel Original Movie Songs that would hold up on the pop charts. I was definitely a Disney Channel kid growing up. I always loved the original movies. When I first got Disney Plus, the Disney Channel original movies are some of the first things I ran to go watch. So a lot of these are older songs from my childhood, but I do have some contemporary ones in here as well. This playlist has every song sang by the Zeta Bites in Pixel Perfect, which is such an underrated Disney Channel original movie. I have some Protozoa songs from the Xenon trilogy. My favorite is actually Out of This World, which is Cosmic Blush and Protozoa from Z3. I have What Dreams Are Made Of from the Lizzie McGuire movie. I have She's So Gone from Lemonade Mouth, and that song is unironically good. I'm not even gonna lie, I have like half of the Starstruck soundtrack on here. Something About the Sunshine, Hero, Starstruck, it's all good. I have Had Me at Hello from Girl vs. Monster. I have Cloud 9 from, obviously, Cloud 9. And of course you knew I wouldn't make a Disney Channel original movie playlist without including some High School Musical tracks. I tried not to overload it. I've got mostly Sharpay Evans songs because she's the best character from that franchise and the real victim. I've got Bop to the Top and Fabulous. I've also got Gotta Go My Own Way because I think that is one of the best done songs in the entire franchise. Alright guys, we'll do one more playlist for today and we'll do one of my very many workout playlists. Just like my driving playlist, I have several workout playlists because they all have different vibes, but the one we're going to talk about today is Training for the Apocalypse. This is the kind of playlist that makes you feel like the protagonist in a dystopian movie or novel. I am part of the generation that got to first read and then years later watch movie adaptations for dystopian series that featured strong female leads, and I'm super grateful for that. I'm talking about the Divergent trilogy, the Hunger Games series. So this is my playlist for when you feel like you want to train to be in Dauntless or in the Hunger Games. This playlist has songs like Legends Are Made, Way Down We Go, Kaleo. It's got a ton of Imagine Dragons like Warriors, Radioactive. It's got Bigger, Stronger, Faster by Eric Lives Here. We've got Legend, The Score. We've got Teenagers, My Chemical Romance. We've got Headstrong, Trapped. And it does take a lot of inspiration from the soundtracks of the Divergent series and the Hunger Games movie adaptations, which I think they did a really good job with. Okay guys, that's enough oddly specific playlists for one day. If you like this kind of content, let me know in the comments down below. I promise there's plenty more playlists where that came from if this is something you like watching. As always, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe below, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!